Another point that we want to mention is that if you want to have access to other shortcuts in the software, if you choose this section, help section, and in shortcut section, you will see there is this PDF based on the language that you select. Here you select the wanted language, and there's going to be a PDF file here, and all the shortcuts in Twinmotion software are going to be available here. Well, Twinmotion software is also presented for Mac system. As you can see, there are also shortcuts for Mac and also Windows. And you can see that the move forward key is W for Mac and also W for Windows. And as you can see, some of them might be different, but some of them are the same. That's how these things are done. Okay. For example, in this section, you can see movement situations here. As you can see, this one is the symbol for Shift key, and what this means is the mouse roller. Right now it says if you hold the Shift button and then roll the mouse roller, you can have this rotation in higher scale of speed. But if you hold Alt button, then you will see it is moving slowly. As you can see, these shortcuts will be extremely helpful. Or for example, this tool section, translate is move. As you can see, there's numbers here, and this next transform section is with this arrow here. That means if you selected this move button here, you can have access to it by clicking on that arrow button. And this symbol here is the symbol of tab button. If you just take a look at it, you will understand this. And when we click on it, as you can see, it is transforming to next option. You see, that's so much faster. And as you can see, when we click on 7, 8, 9, they are also changing. So by using these shortcut keys, you can make working in this environment so much easier. But I personally suggest you that for working in any other software, work with the tool itself so you could understand the structures better and deeply. When you understood those structures perfectly and you became a professional, you can use those shortcut keys to make your project faster. So for now, we try to refuse to work with the shortcut keys. We work with these tools here so we could have a better understanding of the environment of the software. Okay, so we will start discussing these translate tools here. Okay, when you click on an object here, you can use different translate tools based on what have you selected up here. If it is move, you can easily move the objects around the environment, and you can change the coordinates of the objects to X, Y, and Z axis. And just let's take a look at here. We have this X, Y, Z transfer panel, and as you can see, we can change the coordinates with these options here. And if you select this middle section here, and when you start moving it, it is moving in all directions, and considering that these objects are face-based, they will automatically set on any surface. Or even in this section, you can type the coordinates, for example, like now 100 centimeters, and it goes up. And for example, right now we can type -100 and it goes down. Or even if we click on this section here, we can change the angle here. What that means, in moving tools, you also have rotation tools, and you also can move it manually. And also in this section, you can set a number for the coordinates. Just simply type in the proper number. You can see 0, 65 centimeters now. Or maybe in another position, something like this. So as you can see, we have this position section here, which you can type different coordinates inside it. Okay, the next tool here is this rotate tool. And as you can see, when we click on it, this gizmo will change. You also have moving ability right now too. As you can see, we can, well, change different directions and, you know, set the object on different positions here, or we can come to this section again and change these numbers here, like 0, 0, and 135. As you can see, 45 is also different, and 90. As you can see, you can rotate it in every kind of direction that you like. Right, if we click on this middle section here, we can move it and set it on a flat surface. And scale is used for making objects bigger and smaller. As you can see, we are changing these numbers here and like putting them in 100, 100, and 100. You can see these scales are different now. Or for example, right now 1, 1, 1. And as you can see, you can change these numbers here and set it on different size. Okay. Something like this. Every type of number that you like. You can see you can set it on different sizes. Alright, we set it on this number. And with Ctrl Z keys, you can undo your changes. Something like this, as you can see. Alright. Okay, so with these tools here, you can rotate it, move it, and scale them. Okay, in this section, this one we're gonna talk about it later, because these options here, they are a bit more relevant to these things that we talked about. In this section, we have two practical tools here, and they're extremely important. Okay, as you can see, with this option here, world axis, toggle local, in this section, you can switch between local axis and world axis. For example, if we click on it, you can see the position of coordinates and axis is different. Okay, we come to this section here, this part. Okay, we come to this section, and as you can see right now, and then we click on F button so we could zoom in, and as you can see right now, these axes here, they are aligned in local directions. What does that mean? If we click on this local axis, we can move it in its own direction, but right now if we click on the world axis, we can move it in any type of direction. That's, let's put it simply. So with these options, you can switch between local and world axis. And this section here, reset pivots and center pivots. By clicking on these tools here, you can change the placement of your pivots. And for example, put it in here. And let's deactivate it. As you can see, this asset here is changed by this pivot. You can see you can move, rotate, and scale it in here. And if you wanted to bring it back, you click on center pivot. And if you click on reset, you can bring it back to the presets. So by using these tools up here, we can do basic editing process by moving, rotating, and scaling, and take control of our objects.